Good afternoon, everyone. I appreciate the opportunity that I have to share with you one of the tools that we're using in the Student-Centered Accountability Program, and to give you a little bit of the history about how and why we got to where we are with using it. As some of you may know, the old Unified Improvement Plan document is a Word document. It's not read very often by very many people. It's loaded usually with educational jargon and isn't as accessible to staff and other people as we hope that it could be. We felt that we needed a tool that would allow users to get a quick glance at the district's priorities, and also allow those who might want to get into the data a little bit deeper to go as far as they wanted. And so we created a website template that we believe makes the school improvement and district strategic planning available to everyone, and tells more of the whole child story that's is currently available on the State Accountability website. So as you can see, I pulled up the Monte Vista district page here. And there's several ways to access information that you're interested in. On the home page, you first see, as you can see, the numbers here that are the district's improvement strategies, major improvement strategies. And in Monte Vista, we have linked back to the Student-Centered Accountability homepage right here, and this is a live link that will take you, if you want to, back to that page, and you can see a few other resources that are available there. So also on our web page at the bottom, you can see some other links that we have. One that you're probably all familiar with is this Colorado State report, which includes all of the data that's currently available on any of the districts. We also have a support system review link that you had heard a little bit about earlier, or may hear if you haven't yet. And then in the middle is one that we believe, I want to say that we still believe that this Colorado State information is important. And because of that, you can still access it the same way. We're not trying to hide anything or hide any of the data. And so it's included there for anybody who might want to access the same information. As I mentioned, at the heart of the web page, in my opinion, is this link here, the Comprehensive Student Success Dashboard. For us, this link is what allows people to go into the data in ways that can help tell the rest of what we're doing. And you can see all of those areas of input that we talked about earlier, the state report, the performance task, learning dispositions, etc. And through this link, we believe it's easier to access all of those multiple measures that we feel is important for telling that whole story about what our schools are accountable for, but also, again, it's not currently available in the state accountability system. So for example, we can scroll down here on the left-hand side, and each of these buttons are live links. And if we click on performance task, for example, you can see that it will open up into a variety of those measures that we're currently using in Monte Vista. We use the Galileo system, iStation, elementary park test data. For our preschool, we have the TS Gold, and then at the high school, we have the PSAT and the SAT. But what we've done is embedded into each of these areas information that, again, if someone wanted to dig a little deeper, we have live links. And this one, hopefully, it'll open up to a document that is the data that we're using for this one. So it's a little bit quicker to find. And for those who don't care about that as much, then of course they don't have to. We give a little synopsis of what we're doing here. And where this site is most useful for our board, go back to the beginning here, and we want to utilize this as a way of communicating more frequently with our board members about the data and about what we're doing. And so in our strategic planning, we will continue going down the path of accessing what we have here and updating it. Of course, these strategies are not static, they are dynamic, and this site allows us to make changes throughout a year if we want to, based on the types of activities that are going on. So, for example, here in Strategy 1, you see that our focus is on the adult behaviors, that we can manage in a school system, because we do not have complete control over how kids come to us in their school readiness, but we believe that we do have the ability and the responsibility to change adult behaviors and helping to to bring about student achievement. And so under the existing state model, UIP, we're required to identify those things that are called root causes, those behaviors or those elements in the system that are, again, adult-centric, that we can change or improve upon. And so because of those reporting requirements, you saw that I had embedded in here a link that parents can go find. And if you had just the old UIP typical document, you'd be reading a lot to try to find some of that information. So also in this particular document, we have information that's more specific, but again, a requirement from the state reporting, because we have a school that's in turnaround, our elementary, combined elementary schools. So they're asking that we provide some additional information that, again, if parents or others want to use it, or State Department officials, should be easy to find those things that we have included that are required reporting for the Unified Improvement Plan process. And so as another link, again, hopefully it's a little bit more conducive to. And there are a couple of other things that I'd like to point out to you about this site. And one of those, again, is in all of those strategic priorities, or those strategies that are required by the state, we have to list our action plans. And that can describe what the process is, who's responsible, the time frame, etc. And so in order to help our people, especially the teachers, utilize this, having this available on a website where they can go back periodically and refresh what they're doing, and we can make reports to our school board about what's currently underway. There's also other expected reports that are again accessible and necessary to be made available, that parents don't typically get to see unless they come in and or we create or print this 50-page document. For example, in Monte Vista in the San Luis Valley, we're part of a consortium of 14 districts in our Gifted and Talented program. And because of that, we utilize the BOCES for developing a district-wide approach to how we are going to deal with gifted and talented students and their education. So that document, again, in the typical format from the CDE is one that we've linked there for parents to read and staff to utilize, and for us to give accountability checks back to the community on. So I'm going to switch to a different strategy here, and again, just point out one of the things that for us is really pretty powerful, and it's missing in the CDE approach, and that is to be able to, again, tell the rest of the story for all of our students. And so what we do and have included in all of our sites are stories behind why this particular strategy is important, and a way to help demonstrate some of our success. And just as an example of what we have included here in Monte Vista, have well, this one isn't working very well. And so one of the stories I'd like to share with you has to deal with this pool table. And digging deeper into it, we highlighted the fact that this is a gifted student who started out in his woodworking class just making a simple paper napkin holder, and then advanced a couple of different projects, but until, because of the needs that are not because of, but by nature of his need to try to create an individualized learning plan, he and the teacher decided that, yeah, he would take on making a full-size 3/4 inch thick slate pool table from scratch. And so he went into the mountains up by Wolf Creek Pass, cut down some of the beetle-killed timber, and built that pool table that I showed you here at the beginning. And it really is quite a project. But this is the kind of story that you'd never hear or be able to show, but is also a part of what makes the whole child education so important. It's not just about testing, and it's not just about the comprehension on a few state examinations that should determine how well a school is doing, because meeting the needs of individual children today is the most important factor. So again, I appreciate the opportunity to share with you just one of the things that we've been doing that hopefully can help any of you who are interested in learning a little bit more about the Student-Centered Accountability Program, you can access this site. And so, thank you.